Hey guys, I'm doing my video response for Unit 7, Nutritional Principles. And I enjoyed this presentation. And I'll be honest, nutrition is definitely not my strength. I was a former athlete and somebody that grew up in a home where, you know, a lot of what we did was based on eating and being together as a family and eating large meals. You just have different experiences that kind of form your opinions about the importance of nutrition. But society has changed quite a bit, and it's gotten to the point now where as a parent I actually stress out about what to bring to like youth soccer games for halftime snacks, because you don't want to offend anybody. You want to make sure that you bring something that everybody considers healthy. So um, I guess I would answer the questions that we were asked for this session about identifying a practical strategy that you currently use for your team, class, or yourself, by including specific food, drinks, or supplements that you use to enhance an area of nutrition. I would probably just kind of divide that up into different categories. I do coach football and I am a PE teacher, but I don't really plan pre or post game meals for my football players. That's not part of my responsibilities. And my only nutritional influence on my students is probably hydration. And obviously, when we're out on the blacktop and it's 100 plus degrees, it's really critical to make sure kids have access to water. So a lot of times, what we'll do is, if we know we're going to do some kind of a prolonged running pattern that day, we'll just have kids go get water before their run, and then let them know, hey, as soon as you're done, get in the shade and get some more water. And obviously, you need to talk to your PE classes about the importance of hydrating properly, and that way you avoid a potential problem or a possible lawsuit for depriving kids of water. But from a personal perspective and more of a family perspective, I would say here's some of the things that we try to do as a family, and obviously when you're part of a family, you're kind of sharing the meal responsibility, and you're eating pretty much the same thing. So it takes a coordinated effort to eat healthy, especially in today's fast food paced society. So some of the things that we do as a family perspective is we try to be gluten free. We try to have low fat, non processed foods. We definitely drink a lot of water, and fortunately, my wife's kind of a health nut stickler on the water thing. She's always talking about, hey, drink more water, drink more water. We do vitamin and mineral supplements, vitamin C and D, and we heard in the presentation that if you're eating a balanced diet, that vitamin and mineral supplementing is probably not as important as American society has made it out to be. But I guess we're kind of part of that movement to use supplements. So we do that. We also try to stick to white meats as much as possible, like chicken and fish and turkey, and we try to avoid red meat, but not all the time. Lots of fresh fruit and vegetables like broccoli, spinach, and kale. And we do fish oil, vitamin B12, vitamin D, and then we avoid fat fried food, processed food. I mentioned that, and we try to grill. And then this phrase is something I got from my wife, but she says we try to shop on the outer aisles of the supermarket, which is where you find fresh fruit and vegetables and things that aren't processed in boxes and things like that. So those are just a few family strategies that we have for nutritional health. But from a more personal perspective, I thought it was really interesting about the protein loading, and the presentation specified that an athlete in competition needs about 1 gram of protein per kilogram to maintain muscle mass, and they require 1.4 to 1.8 grams of protein per kilogram to build muscle mass. And according to the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, that's equivalent to and I'm kind of a pounds guy, so this is easier for me to remember. It's equivalent to 0.64 to 0.82 grams of protein per pound of body weight each day. So if I take a 200-pound man, which is basically what I am, and do the math on that, 200 times 0.82 or 82% of 200, it comes out to about 168 grams of protein per day. If I was involved in highly intense physical activity or muscle mass building. So, as a former player, you just kind of get in the habit of just always supplementing with protein. And in my own case, you kind of lose track of, why are you doing that? You wake up, you have a protein shake before you work out, you go work out, you might have another one, and then around lunchtime, you might have one, like say, an hour and a half before you actually eat your bigger meal for lunch. And to be honest, I don't really keep track of how many grams of protein I'm actually taking in on a daily basis. And that's something that is probably a mistake on my part. But I've also heard the general rule of thumb, is half of your body weight in protein grams. So based on that formula, and I've heard that through different athletic circles, but that would be significantly less than the recommended amount that we learned about this week in the presentation. So 168 grams of protein is a lot. It's something that would, you probably need to track kind of ritualistically just to make sure you're getting to the amounts that are required. So that's another kind of personal strategy, just trying to be